coming from this meditation. Wow, that's quite something, huh? So it's so beautiful to see, there's light, there's more space in my mind. There's more like, yes, slowly but certainly I sink into this stillness. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? Look at what we're doing. What we're, you enter into the place where you actually are. So you come into the awareness that you're not separate and that you're connected. So it's a secret place of the Most High that you're entering into, that you come closer to, that you feel like, something is really happening here. I don't know exactly what it is. I cannot put my finger on it, but it's inevitable. It's like I can definitely feel something is going on. Or maybe you have a deep experience at the same time. It's like, what a relief. I'm safe in the hands of my Father. My name is written in heaven. Like, it's a given. It's not something that I have to work for or to have to try to achieve or anything. No, my name is right there. There's a place for me. I'm actually there. I'm not aware of that fully right now, but there's a place for me there, and I'm actually there. Because this place that we're running in here, what appears to be a place, it's not as real as it appears to be. So that is coming back to us in all kinds of ways. So in the talk that we're looking at today, the tape 154A, it has a title very much like the basics of the infinite way, the fundamental part of the infinite way. And so to move to this talk that Joel gave in 1954, you see that he starts off with quite an quote from the infinite way. And this quote you see in many books, and you see he's referring to it a lot in his talks. And I will read it to you because it's beautiful, and that's one thing. And it is almost like a credo, even though it isn't a credo. So I'm going to do that later on. So first of all, he also starts with the idea of fear has no reality, like there literally is nothing to fear. The nature and activity of the infinite way. Yeah, thank you so much. The nature and the activity of the infinite way. That was the title of the transcript. So I had so look at the first page that you're reading in the transcript. Well, if you received it, I will send it to you anyway if you didn't receive it, but no worries about that. It's like, if you see what's on the first page, I had my cup is full and runneth over when I read this. Like, wow, we don't need to go through the whole transcript. It was really like that. It's like, wow, look at what Joel is putting down here. Don't read over it as is like, okay, that's a nice introduction. No, it is not a nice introduction. It is literally the whole teaching that he gives to you right in the start of the talk. One is he takes away the idea of fear from you in a very beautiful way. I'll read some of that too to you, and then you get the whole what I call the credo of the infinite way about the illumination. So you see that's a lovely start, because when this fear that is connected to, finding yourself in a place that doesn't exist, like Earth or the world as you see it, that has everything to do with the mesmerism, the perception that you use to identify yourself. So here it is then, if that fear dissolves, if you see things for what they are and you look beyond your appearances, you actually enter into a place where there's light and love and where you feel connected. So what is illumination but that? It's like being completely aware that you are in that place and not anywhere else. So you are in communication with your Creator. You are receiving the love of God. That is your reality. So that's why it is really, it's great to ask for that. Great to ask for this illumination. So you might hear this in different ways, but actually, illumination is a recognition of where you truly find yourself, where you truly are, and having that in your awareness, that cannot be taken away from you. It's literally the only thing that will not change. So if you see something that is changing, that is not it. And so coming to the realization of illumination, you see that it is a secret place of the Most High. It is asking for, say, the truth of who you are, and not as some kind of, it is a gift, sure, but it's not something that you have to earn or that you don't deserve until or something. It's like, no, it has no conditions. That it's not conditional at all. So it's like it is where you are, in fact, and it is where you are. So you're asking for something that actually is yours. I and my Father are one. All that the Father has is mine. See, we can meditate till the cows come home, so to speak, to say it a bit like blunt. It's like we can meditate till the cows come home, but actually it means what it says, like, I and my Father are one, and I dwell in the place of the Most High. And, it's like that is what I can ask for, because it is what is mine. All that the Father has is mine. And that's not something that you're going to receive in the future. No, that is right now. Like we repeated that a lot in the prayers. That is right now. So that is, you can ask for it. But if you don't ask for it, or think that you're not deserving it, you're struggling with your own judgment about yourself. But this is so simple in that sense, and that's why it might be complicated to receive it. But it is like, that is your birthright, but you will have to ask for it. Otherwise you're consumed by, say, the littleness that surrounds you, and thinking that a bit of this and a bit of luck there, or a bit of fun there, is the complete replacement for heaven, for your birthright, for your, say, overwhelming love of God. And it isn't. So ask for what is yours. So that is quite a strong start in the talk. It's like basically he says everything here, and uses other parts of his experiences with the Eastern, like the Eastern tradition or the Eastern teaching. He compares it with that too. But this is in fact the bottom. It's like the fundament under our practice. It is your nature. Your nature is, say, an illumined state, is being in a direct light communication with your Creator. That's why meditation is really helpful. So to join it with one another in the meditation, just like we did a moment ago, is really helpful to open yourself up continuously, like opening up. Okay, here's the prayer. Oh, here, let's open up even more to receive just a glimpse of this, to allow myself more than ever before to desire just this, to want this above all else that I can think of. But now this is my choice. This is what I want. I want to experience the totality of my illumination. And I'm willing to go beyond the fear that seems to hold me back, or seems to put me in a place where there's suffering, disease and disaster. So you see that fear is always connected to perception, and perception is nothing more, in fact, than seeing what you wish, seeing what you want to see. So it is judgment in itself already. You only see what you want to see. So of course you're gonna be, say, fearful, because it is not what is given to you. No, it's what you took. In fact, it's what you take as a replacement for the love of God. See, that's wild. That's wild. So this is what Joel is presenting in the first, say, maybe 5 minutes of his talk. And he comes back. He uses all his stories to say support this idea. It's like illumination, light communication, your Father, your oneness with your Father, the love of God. It's like, all the good stuff, so to speak, is brought to you in all kinds of different ways. Here it is. Receive it. Ask for it. Ask for what you truly want. Don't let yourself be tempted by things that are changing or have a temporary, say, lucky idea or something. Don't go for the temporal, but go for this, what is always true, what is always with you. So that's in fact the basis of the healing through the using the infinite way for healing too. It comes back to that. So he uses examples with Mary Baker. Mary Baker's always with him. In fact, she's always with him in his teaching. That's really beautiful. I think he left the Christian Science Church, but he never left. Say, working together with Mary Baker, Eddie. And so he's very loyal to her, to her teaching, in fact, to what she received, just like he received this description or this credo. I'm not supposed to call it a credo, but because there's no organization, in fact. But certainly you are going to recognize what I will read to you. You will recognize that as your own motivation to do this. And you're probably very familiar with this part of the text too, because it's in many books. So here's a short version of that. Spiritual illumination reveals that we are not mortals, not even humans, but that we are pure spiritual beings, divine consciousness, self-sustaining light, all-inclusive mind. The light destroys the illusion of personal sense. I'll read it again because it's so great. I love this. Spiritual illumination reveals that we are not mortals, not even humans, but that we are pure spiritual beings, divine consciousness, self-sustaining light, all-inclusive mind. The light destroys the illusions of personal sense. Wow, that's great. So about fear, he says this. So this is all like in the first 5 minutes. There's no fear of the death of the divine life. There's no fear of diseases. There's no fear of lack or limitation in the divine life. So that when any sense of fear would appear, it would be a fear for that selfhood which doesn't exist. And remembering that would be the treatment. Remembering that would be the prayer. The very moment we sense fear in ourselves or another, we could ask that question: what's the fear about? As a matter of fact, even if we felt no fear in the person of or ourselves, the mere fact that they asked for help, or speak of pain, or speak of unemployment, of homelessness, or having no companion, that could be the very first thought in our mind. Aha, here's a fear of selfhood that doesn't exist. And that would be the treatment. Many and many a time, when I'm called upon to help, the only thing that comes into my thought is the word fear. And then I laugh to myself and say, thank you. And that ends it. Because there's really nothing to fear. So this is the first 2 paragraphs of the talk. This is in fact where this is all about. So it's a summary. And we enter straight into it. It tells you everything about healing. It tells you everything about your purpose, about the possibilities that are available for you to remember your true identity. And it tells you what isn't and what is. So I thought it's pretty amazing. I'll keep it with that. It's like, wow, if you get what this says, if you hear what this says, hey, what else do you want to hear? What else do you want to practice? Like, wow, as soon as the word fear comes up, or you look at the situations like, well, is this fear actually? Well, it is fear. Yes, it is fear. Oh my God, can you believe it? It is something that does not exist. And it seems to occupy my mind. Why would I let myself... why would I choose to do that any longer? I'm letting my fears disappear. And fears disappearing doesn't seem to be possible, is it? So it is like remembering, coming to this still place, the secret place of the Most High in yourself, or even being willing to go inward instead of trying to fix it outward. The decision to go within is where the healing takes place, because you decided that you want another solution. You can expect great help in doing so, because that was the only requirement. And fear will disappear. Fear will be like shine away by the light. If you go through the fear by not running away for it, but just standing straight right in the middle of it, you see that it falls apart, and actually the light that's behind all of it will come into your awareness. So it's like that is how close it is to you. It is always available. It is not changing. It will always be there. Like, that fear changes. Like sometimes you're afraid for something, and the other moment, and the next moment you think like, oh my God, was I afraid of that? How silly is that? That's different with love. Like the love of God is always present. It never wavers. It never changes. It is the constant factor that is always available for you. So that's why you can come back to it all the time. Every time that you have that you don't know where to look for it, you go within and ask for it, or like only the fact that you're willing to go within, say, is in fact an invitation to great support and great help. And you can be sure that you are going to be helped. So, really lovely. So, thank you so much for listening here, for being present here, and really being attentive, like really being present in this with me. That's so cool. That is so wonderful, because it is true, it's true that this reference point in you is present in you, and it's basically everything that you are. So in class we continue in a moment by listening to tape 154A, the nature and activity of the infinite way. So thank you for this, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.